What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we about to get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. We're going up. It's all because of you, and I'm humbled because of it. Very humbled. So the exposed game is real. It's starting to get real, right? Starting to get real fake. And I'll tell you this. There's people that get exposed for whatever reasons. And when you really break it down, what does that mean? Not a lot, right? And then there are individuals that for whatever reason hate someone so much for whatever, even though you don't even know who they are, right? And they choose to dig and dig. And when they can't find nothing that they're digging for, they start to create. They utilize AI. They do whatever they got to do, right? They cut and paste, they chop, and they make shit up, right? And so this morning I'm going, looking for content purpose ideas, and I come across a channel that smells like straight caca, butthole mouth channel, right? And I see a video where like a 40-second, 50-second clip of a guy talking about dubs and paperwork that he has on dubs. And he says, oh, we got him. Finally exposed, right? And then as I'm concerned, I start to look at it. It's literally a guy fighting a validation, and it's cut and pasted and put out there like it's dubs because they share the same last name. But the same individual that's putting out this paperwork put out some other paperwork a while back, and the first names were totally different. So I don't know if Dubs is going to be John today and Robert tomorrow, or Robert today and John tomorrow. But what this guy did was he found some type of paperwork, I guess, on some guy named Robert, and because he has shared the same last name as Dubs, he cut and pasted and made it look like it was Dubs. Now, that is what we call a hit piece, right? And anyone who's ever been incarcerated or locked up, they know that in order to do a pegada, or in order to really fucking question someone's integrity and their stance, you have to have PW. Real life, real shit, not cut and pasted, chopped and screwed, right? This ain't fucking Texas. You don't chop and screw it. And shout out to Texas, by the way, right? But it's crazy to the point that someone's so infatuated with the person that they would literally put out paperwork that has no ringing of truth and doesn't even make the individual in that paperwork look bad, but they chop it and screw it to make it look bad. Now, however you feel about myself or Dubs or anyone else, that's up to you. Someone that doesn't like you, you can't change their mind. And then there are those that change their mind on their own, but you can't change their mind about you, right? But there's guys that hate so much that they have decided to go out of their way to create bullshit, right? Now, I did a video a while back. They thought they exposed Dubs, right? Exposed them for what? Again, like I said, man, oh, he's non-active, or he's this, or he's that. I don't know what he is. One thing I do know is, why are you even tripping on if that man is active or non-active or in the gang or any of that? If he says he is or isn't, that's it. But I've never once seen a video where he said one way or the other. Okay? And at the end of the day, I'm not here to defend someone else that can't defend themselves. I'm just here to say, wow, what levels will people go to nowadays to defecate and shit on a man's character? Now, if you don't like myself or Dubs for whatever reason, that's cool. I agree with you, man. Someone like myself is kind of hard to get along with, but at the end of the day, you don't know the real man. You don't know the real men behind the scenes. You're only going by you're judging them by what you see on YouTube and how you feel. Now, it's crazy because a lot of these guys that are doing the exposing, right? And I'm talking about with fake paperwork, not like Rascal Homie Hangout that literally finds the real deal Holyfield, right? And even then, when he finds that stuff, he's not doing it to discredit someone. He's basically showing you, hey, this is what it is. This is what this guy was locked up for, this and that, period, right? Now, there has been some individuals like G-Face and others, that I can't even say their name because they made it where I couldn't say their name on YouTube for whatever reason, right? That he's shown paperwork on that has blown people's minds. But when it comes to literally taking a case with a guy with a whole different name and utilizing that to try to smut someone up, that's fucked up, especially from individuals that have been locked up and they're no longer in good standings. I don't know if it's just meant to rile people up to gain attention towards their channel, to just smut someone's name up for whatever reason. But enough is enough, bro. Like, if you have concrete evidence and you got real shit, then it's cool. But to do that, for no reason it makes you look stupider than you already look. And believe me, you look stupid. Now, again, it's crazy how, people show favoritism, or they show individualism, or they show these different types of things like, oh, it's cool, bro, with what's good with you, but it's not cool with that guy. Now, if there was anything there to be exposed, don't you think after 8 years of Dubs being on YouTube, they would have already shown it? We'd already known it. We'd already seen it. It's to the point now where people are actually making up fake paperwork or taking other paperwork that they can find on the internet. I could do it easily on the internet and cutting and pasting. But guess what, man? Sorry to tell you, brother. Dub's name ain't Robert. So it's crazy that these types of things are being played on. And, it's a dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game because there's a lot of people that have not been in prison that are infatuated with prison or infatuated with the lifestyle. And they see things and they automatically assume, damn, I like that vato, man, fuck. And what's crazy to me? And here's a perfect example. I have a primo, right? And my primo was active like a motherfucker, right? And I was no longer active, no longer in the mix. And, and people automatically, they hear you're not active. They think, oh, you fucked up. You told on someone. You did this. You did that. They don't know. There's different reasons behind it, but there's no need to explain ourselves, right? But at the end of the day, I called my primo and he got all hostile and crazy and fucking, he wanted to see me and he was going to do this and that and whatever, right? And a few months later, he met his fate with, he went into the county jail and for whatever reason, man, they felt like, he was putting pressure on other homies and whatever, and he got removed. And before he could get removed, he got off, but he basically got removed. And then the next time I called the pad, it was all good. Come over for a carne asada, man. And I said, what's up, bro? Where's that energy at that you had when I was all bad? You were all good. Now you're all bad. And oh, no, man, I wasn't thinking straight. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because you could have homeboys that are solid with you. And then they find out like, all right, yeah, this guy's not in the greatest of standings. And what changes? Nothing changes. The same dude that's eating cornflakes that ate cornflakes yesterday, right? But all of a sudden, oh, man, you're all bad. I'm all bad. Why? Because someone else told you so? Or is that how you really feel? Or do you feel like, you feel some type of way people are going to think differently of you? That's a whole thing of thinking, caring about what other people think about you. Now, with this hit piece that was done on Dubs, man, this is just done by an individual. And I ain't even going to say his name because I ain't bringing clout to his channel, but he's an individual that's talked about me in the past. He talked about a lot of other people. And it doesn't even live anywhere near the West Coast. Like, he's fucking further out. And he just decides to lock in on someone and lets them control his mind. And, he's bipolar or something, man. He just, one day he's happy, one day he's sad. I don't know what's wrong with this dude, but he needs help. His mental issues. And if you're going to take the time, why don't you take the time to do something positive or to build your channel or to create something that could work for you rather than doing a hit piece on someone. And it's so fucking fake. Like, it's not even the same name. It's crazy. And the cool part is the paperwork is somebody fighting a validation. Okay. And he's not even doing nothing wrong. It's to the point now where you guys really have to watch what you hear and what you say or what you hear being said and take it for a grain of salt. Now, I can't sit here and be a hypocrite. And, when Rascal does his, exposing videos, man, I support him. I support him in his lane. And, he does it from a legal standpoint. He's very, very respectful in what he does. And I support that. But at the same time, when you have guys trying to create the same type of lane, but don't know how to do it, they're faking it till they're making it, right? It's just crazy. A lot of people are really concerned with Dub's status. What's he all about? Is he the real deal? Is it for reals or is it for fakes? I'm here to tell you that's a question I can never answer. That's a question I refuse to answer because I don't know the answer. But I know this. He's a solid man, a good father, a real loyal homie, someone who's really been locked up where he says he's been, someone who really did, a term. These same individuals are trying to say, oh, Dubs, he caught a murder case back in the days. He shot an innocent victim. Look, when you're gangbanging, when you're in the mix, when you're in someone else's neighborhood, when you got a gang of homeboys with you, when you're cruising around posing a threat, unfortunately, you never know where you're going. You never know what could happen. And gangbanging is gangbanging. There's nothing fair in it, right? And when you go test the waters, you might get bit by a shark. I've researched Dub's case. I've seen his whole murder case, man. Unfortunately, that he even had to go through that and be a part of that because I know he regrets it every day. I know nobody commits a murder or gets involved at that level of crime and doesn't have some remorse at some point, right? And I know what the case involved, and I know that he was defending what he felt was his integrity, his barrio, his homies. And at the end of the day, he did over 24 years for that. Could have possibly done life if laws didn't change and he wasn't helped to get out. Because ultimately Dubs was already at the point where he was just going to do forever. He had already that was his understanding. Imagine you already chalked it up. You already said acknowledged it. All right, acknowledge me, right? I'm going to do all day. It is what it is. I committed a crime. I'm taking the punishment. I'm gonna have accountability for my crime. And then a law changes, a coalition gets involved. They help you get out. You get out. Imagine how that felt the day they knocked on his door and told me, hey, you're going home, right? I couldn't even imagine. So someone like that who's been through that, I have a lot of respect for. I don't have the respect for him because he killed someone. That's easy. People do that. It's actually not easy. It's hard. Not everyone can. But I mean, anyone could pick up a gun, right? But I have more respect that he's a man that stands on his morals and his integrity and his loyalty. And he just said, you know what? I did a crime. I'm going to do the time. And he was let out and he's making the best of his situation. And you got guys that are pulling up fake paperwork because they don't like him for whatever reason. Someone that's never done to him, nothing to him. They don't even know him. I know I'm next. It's cool. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. But the situation remains that, we've never seen anyone that's ever really did time with Dubs come out and say something bad about him. We've never seen anything like that. So, it boggles my mind when I'm on YouTube and I see these things that pop up and it's like, I know his real name. And I'm like, damn, that ain't even Dub's name. These motherfuckers are cold-blooded, right? But that's just part of this YouTube shit. It's like with the big boy paperwork exposed, right? What did that really expose? The fact that he was locked up, we knew that. The fact that he didn't get a lot of time, we knew that. The fact that, he was on a level 1 yard, some of us knew that. I didn't know that, but we found that out, right? The fact is that man has changed, made a change in his life and whatever. He's over there, sharmutain, right? I'm not hating on that fact. There was nothing exposed other than the fact that this man portrays an image like he did all this time and he was a super gangster when he really wasn't. Okay, but teach their own. That's just like myself. I'm not trying to portray I was a super gangster at one point in time. I did what I did and I don't do that anymore. That's it. Okay? I lived the lifestyle I was raised to live. Dubs lived the lifestyle he was raised to live. He's no longer involved in the shenanigans. He's an older man now. He's able to, spend time with his child, spend time, with his family and live his life. But when people do this, it's a dangerous game because they could be putting him in a situation or a predicament, especially guys that live so far away. And this man still lives where he's from. It's crazy, that people are willing to do this. They want drama. They want to see someone hurt or someone, for what? That's like me. I don't want to see big boy hurt. because he didn't do a lot of time. I'm just showing people that, man, this persona he's putting on is false. It's false advertisement, esse. That's it. Me, myself, Dubs, we're not false advertising nothing. We're here for the betterment of people. We want people to understand what it takes to go to prison, which isn't much, but it's a whole lot to get out, right? And to stay out. And that's what we hope for people. Not trying to turn people away from gangs, not trying to turn people away from organizations, not trying to turn people away from anything, but just let you know our life and what we've been through and the reason why we do what we do. If you're not going to listen to someone who's been there and actually really did it, you're going to listen to someone who fucking wants to do it? Come on now. I call bullshit. Anyway, so like I said, a short clip was put out with some guy named Robert Villa. It's not Dub's name. And it was just, it's crazy to see things like this, but it is what it is. Again, like I said, at the end of the day, when you have haters on YouTube, they'll try to do anything to make you look bad, man. And whether or not you like myself or Dubs, and again, like I tell everyone, don't judge Dubs off of me. I've never once held back my tongue on my standings or what it is. I got respect for everybody. I'm going to continue to have respect for everybody, active, non-active. It doesn't matter to me, until you disrespect, and then I got to lean back, fall back. And that's just that. And I think that's as real as it gets. Dubs is a very loyal friend, a good person. And I hate to see the hit jobs that they're putting on with this fake PW on them for nothing. When a man is just trying to win and take care of his and his only. It's crazy. These guys, they get infatuated. I had stalkers like that too, fucking super infatuated, wanted to see my chorra. They were just fucking nuts, right? And do you see where they ended up? Working at Wiener Schnitzel. You know what I mean? Fucking necking hot dogs sideways. It's crazy. Anyways, with that being said, I just wanted to put that out there. Did they expose Dubs with this PW? No. What they did is try to do a hit job, cut and paste, and put some fake shit, and couldn't even get the name right. The fucking game is different, man. That's why nowadays when I see paperwork, I see things, I just kind of like, I got to really see if it's real or not, because it's crazy. It's crazy. I made a mistake in the past, putting out some bullshit on someone. It was fucking not real. When people shoot you things, you got to see you got to check the source. It's just crazy. But anyways, with that being said, I wanted to do a little video on it. I'm not here to defend Dubs. He's my homeboy. He's my friend, man. I'm going to rock with him. Period. Plain and simple. But enough is enough, man. Did you get me riled up, butthole mouth? No, not at all. But it's just like, wow, bro, there's better things you could be talking about right now rather than trying to fucking fake some paperwork. I wonder how long that took you for that 50-second clip. Hours, I bet. You were meticulous and then messed up on the name. One never knows, does one? With that being said, man, there's more content to watch that's better, funnier, and I'm going to be doing that later on today. So with that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I really believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. These motherfuckers are too much.